In this video, I'm going to show you how to implement a dribbble invite ticket like this in HTML and CSS. Hi, I'm Juntao. I'm a software developer and an author. I have published several books on React, testing-driven development, and clean code. To get most of the content, you can follow along with your test editor opened. And if you haven't set up your environment yet, I have a video actually here you can follow and set up your environment. Let's get started. First of all, let's create a folder and we can start from there. So for example, I can create a folder called dribbble invite demo, let's say, and go to that folder, and we can start the VSCode with this folder like this. And once you have the application launched, it's we can create files or just like any projects you would work on. But before that, we can copy some assets into this folder because currently it's an empty one. You can see it's nothing there, but we can create a folder first, I guess. We can create a folder called assets and copy some of the images I have already got from another folder, and we can basically put all of them in here, put it in the assets, and now we should be able to have all the assets. There is basically a logo here, and there is a SVG font, or it's not a font, it's an icon. So we will be implementing a dribbble invite ticket like this one. It's from designer Resmea in dribbble.com, and the reason why I picked this up is it's relatively easy to implement, and it's just a very good candidate for get started kind of tutorial. And you can see there's a few images here, and the layout is pretty easy, but still there are some challenges in the ticket. You can see the way we lay out this kind of vertical layout, cut out here, also some like round the corner, and basic layout for these elements. It includes many fundamental elements for you get started with as a web developer. So we have this kind of setup already. What we can do here, without leaving the code editor, we can start the shell panel in VSCode directly by pressing the command backcode. It will launch the terminal here. So basically it's empty now, and we can touch the index HTML and the style CSS. That will be our main working field. And once we have this file, you can see here it's created right away here. In HTML, what we're going to do is launch our live server. We can like type HTML and the title stuff, or there is an easier way, which is using the image extension in code that will generate the code snippet for you very efficiently. For example, if you want to generate a HTML template for us, you can simply type HTML5 like this one. If you hit tab, it will automatically do something for you like this. It will generate a basic template for your HTML, so you don't have to type that manually. And if you hit tab again, the cursor will move to the next editable area. For example, if you want to change the title to dribbble invite, and you hit tab again, it will go to the body. So you can edit something in the body parts. Yeah, that's pretty cool, right? And the next thing you would do is launch your live server. again, it can be done by either click the button here, go live, or you can use this live server, open live server, or even you can use the shortcuts, Command L, Command O. We can use this Command L, Command O, which will launch the application, the index.html in the browser, right? Okay, once you have this set up, so basically it's empty, and when you go back to your code, and yeah, I would hide the Explorer panel and just leave the code as is. And then if we put something in the body to test if the refreshing is working or not, let's say it's hello world and it's showing up in a browser, so it's linked, these two are linked together. The next thing I would do is we just link the CSS. So again, you can either type it manually, or you can use Emmet for you to link them together. So we will use the later one, link CSS, and then it will link the styled CSS with this HTML, which is good. We can test that by saying style.css, and in there, let's say we want the body background color of the body to be pink, let's say, and then boom, you can see here in browser it's applying, but yeah, we probably won't do that here. So the next thing for us to implement this ticket is we just look at the design and try to come up with some HTML first. So HTML basically is the structure of your document. You basically say what elements need to be there, and then later on in CSS we control the positioning stuff like layout, the typography, and maybe the animations if there are any. But yeah, basically we need to finish the markup first. So we can start with a container, because we want the element or the ticket to be in the center of the screen. Yeah, we can start with that. So again, we will use Emmet plugin to do that for us, like for most of the content. The HTML code for us, we just basically write some Emmet expression. If you're not familiar with the Emmet, which is totally fine, you can have a look at this cheat sheet here. Of course, I will cover some basic usage here, but if you want a full reference of that, just have a look at this link. Okay, so let's say we want everything to be inside a container. We can either say div.container and hit tab. It will generate a container class container div, or we can make it more complex. For example, if we want everything inside a container and then we want something to be inside that container, let's say a image, or we can see it's it's a ticket. It's a ticket. In a ticket there is a content part, which is the left hand side and the right hand side. So we can say content plus a side. So if I hit tip now, it will generate the basic structure of the page. And as you can see, I didn't say the div.container, I just put a .container. It will automatically create a div. If I want something other than a div, like say a section or articular, I have to explicitly say what I need as a tag. But yeah, by default it's always generated div. So let's say I want this, but of course I can do something here as well, like for the image or layout. of the content part. For example, we need an image for the logo. Yeah, maybe we can say, okay, dot logo and a image inside it, and the tab, and what will be in a logo is, we'll put the logo here, and for the alternative it will be dribbble logo, right? So we have this, and for the other parts, the left part, the dribbble script title, and the invite and the number of the invite left, we can put them inside something like maybe info, and then there will be another image plus a paragraph. Maybe, I don't know, we can give it the paragraph a class, or we can leave it as is, but yeah, let's put it as simple first. And for the logo here, we will put the logo script, and yeah, we can give it a text. If the image is not available, then maybe just call it script. And in a paragraph, it's said invite, and there is a footnote showing up. It's how many invite you left. So we can put it into super tag. So super is, I guess, it's designed for this kind of usage. We can put it in a footnote like so. And the last, we will need a aside, and we put the one invitation here. So now we have everything for the markup, right? So in the container we have a ticket, in the ticket we have a content, and then logo for basketball, and then the information section, which contains a script logo and the paragraph. And on the right hand side we have one invitation. Yeah, that's pretty much about the markup. Pretty cool, right? And now let's have a look at what it looks like. Wow, yeah, look at that. It's very, very similar to the design, right? Of course not, but yeah, later on let's work on the CSS to make it looks alike. Cool. Now we have everything we need in the HTML part, and it's time for us to add some style. So the first thing first, we will need to reset the default style of the page. So normally what you do is you select everything, and every before and after pseudo element. So essentially so in the page, browser will add a few elements to your element. It's invisible, and it's not declared explicitly, but it's there. You can control them. We will actually using them in this tutorial, but yeah, basically we want to reset this kind of default style for and we don't want that to impact our design first. And normally it's like for example, if you put a list on the page, by default it will add a bunch of bullets in a list, but we probably don't want them. And also it will add a few margin and paddings, and we definitely don't want them to impact our design. So that's why we reset them here. Okay, so the next thing we will do is to make the container to be in the center of the screen, so we can then add the other styles. Firstly, let's make the container to be aligned, like center aligned. We give it a width of, I don't know, maybe we give it a max width of 60 pixel, or yeah, it can be a RAM or a pixel. We can stick with this for now. And the margin, we give it top and bottom margin as maybe, I don't know, 3 RAM. And for the left and right, we give it auto, so that will make it the whole thing align in a in the middle of the screen. And we probably will need to reset the body and give it a background color. I think VSCode looks good. We can give it that now. And if you look at the screen, it doesn't look like they are centralized, but if you inspect the whole screen, they are actually centralized, right? So I guess it's because the width of the screen is almost like that. The next thing we will do is layout. I think we have a content here and a side here, so we can make them a flex container for these two first. Yeah, we can make a ticket as, so you can see here we have a ticket, and in ticket we have a content and a side. If we collapse this, the content and the side are direct children of ticket, and we want the ticket to be the flex container for both. Yeah, let's do that. Ticket display flex, and immediately you can see that one invitation is going that way, and this is the content part. But we also, according to the design, the content is much larger than the invitation part, so we will set the content flex item properties for the content. We will make it flex. I think it's roughly 5:1, right? It's like 5:1 the ratio. So we will put it like the shrink grows all 5. And for the content, the flex basis, which is base wise of the element, we can make it around, I don't know, maybe 20 or 30 RAM. Yeah, based on the max wise here, I'm calculating. Yeah, maybe you give it 30 RAM as a basic of the wise. And for the aside, we make it 1 and I don't know, 10 maybe. Yeah, that would be too much. I think it's just a slight tiny parts on the page. We will adding some padding as well. And yeah, so if we give the aside a different color, like this one, it looks more realistic. But yeah, we can either do the layout for these two or adding colors, but I guess layout first, maybe. That's my preference. Maybe you prefer other orders, but that's totally fine. I will do the layout first. So if you look at this inside part, we can use a flex layout for the inside as well. So inside the ticket, we have inside the content. The content itself is a flex children of the ticket, and it can be a flex container for the logo and info. So we can make the the content display flex, and then that will be something like this, which is totally fine. And then for the logo, we'll give it flex. It's it's roughly 1 to 2, right? I think it's looks pretty much like that. So we can put it 1, 1, and for the one other basis, it's I don't know, it's like a 10 RAM maybe. We can try that always. And then for the for the info parts, it's a flex to maybe 20 RAM. And we give it a try and see how it goes. Okay, yes, it looks fine. The only problem is the image is too big, right? And so there is a scroll bar beneath, which is not good. But yeah, to fix that, it's pretty easy actually. So we want the logo image to take the 4 Ys of the container or the available space, and for the info image as well, I want it to be 100%. And then we have this basic layout. Yeah, of course it looks too big, but I would say it looks fine. And next, I guess we need to add some colors to this container and all the other elements inside the ticket. And yeah, we can use the digital color meter in shipped with macOS. If you are using Windows, you probably have the similar color picker or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to use these two here. So looks like it has a very light pink for the background color of the content part. We can select them, and we can actually define some CSS variables for us, and then maybe use this. It's ticket content. It's using this whitish color, and for the font, we can similarly pick the color here, and yeah, define a color ticket font maybe, and as well the aside background of the aside background. We can define ticket aside. It's kind of a pink. So now let's define the content color to be background color, to be bar content. Okay, it gives a color, and for the aside, we will give it a color as well. Background color bar, the aside, and the color of the font will be white. Yeah, it looks nice, right? It's like a ticket now. It starts to more realistic. And yeah, next thing I like to do is the text rotation of this panel. So it's in a vertical direction. So the way you fix that is using the text, the writing mode. It has a bunch of options. We use like vertical left to right to make it vertical aligned, but we also want it to be upside down. So we are going to transform the whole panel or the whole section. So we can transform it by rotated 180 degree. Yeah, it looks more real, and also we want the text to be aligned, center aligned. Yeah, it's more or less similar now. Also, we will need to add a bunch of we will need to add some paddings to that section. But I guess it has some margin already, or like it has some space here. We want to demolish this space, additional space. So one way to do that is we can extend these basic pieces, flex pieces, to let that the content section to take more space if possible, or we can shrink this a little bit down because it's already, maybe we can give it half RAM, or like even smaller. Yeah, so it's a basis, but it can be enlarged in proportion, and then we can add in some paddings, maybe 1 RAM or 2 RAMs. 2 looks too much. 1.5 maybe. Let's have a look at the design first. Yeah, it looks at 1.5 is fine. We need to add some paddings for this content. So look at the design. It seems the top and the bottom has more space than the left and right. So we'll give them some paddings correspondingly. So the padding for top and bottom could be, I don't know, 3 RAM, and the left and right will be 1 or 2, let's see how it goes. Okay, I guess it's too much. So 2, 1.5 maybe. Yeah, I guess our ticket is slightly too big compared to this one. So let's change the maximise to something smaller. Yeah, it looks much better. Yeah, we need some space here as well. So the info, let's give it a margin left, maybe 1 RAM, and just to put it right a little bit. Yeah, so we maybe need not the margin left, but both sides. So let's put a margin in line, which will be left and right, and yeah, it looks a little bit nicer. And for the text inside, I think it's a little bit larger as well. And also we need this one to be aligned with these two, right? It should be like vertical aligned. So let's do that as well. So it's in content. So we align items center. Yeah, I feel there's some additional space here. I'm not sure why. And if we look at the P, it has some margins, like the orange parts. And where is our reset rules? It doesn't seem to be here. And yeah, okay, this one, it seems we have a typo here, and the whole rule, CSS rule, is not affected. So the before, we have a typo here. So if I change the before, okay, it looks much nicer now. So that was our problem. We have a typo here, so this rule is invalid. And then there is some default, the browser default styles affecting the padding here. Okay, I guess that's a problem. Okay, we have this basic setup now. It's not perfect, but yeah, I guess it's pretty close to the design, and some details are missing, of course, but that's fine. We can handle them. So I guess one more thing here, it has much more space here. so we need to in our design or in our implementation, we need to fix that part. So here probably I will give it a 1.5, and yeah, I guess it's pretty close. So the next thing we got to do is to add in some more details. The first thing will be the font, I guess. I think this is using a sans serif, so we will need to do that as well. And yeah, we will make it in the body, the font family to be Lucida Sans, maybe. Yeah, I think it's pretty similar. And for the font or the text color, we need to make it a little bit real. We just use this variable for the paragraph. So in the content, do we have a class for them? Not really. So the paragraph, we'll give it color to be var from the, and yeah, we'll give it basic color. And for the super, we probably, yeah, we can do that here right away. So for the super, we need it to have a background color to be the font color, let's say, and the color itself should be white. White, right? Okay, so we give it a width to be 1 rem and the height to be 1 rem too. And make, I guess it's a blocking. So currently it's a inline element, so we want to be display inline block, and then text align the center maybe, and then we make it border radius to be 50%. Yeah, I guess it's pretty close to the design. But yeah, we can actually add in some more space between the script and the actual text. Maybe give it margin top to be like half rem, or maybe it's too much, it's like 0.4. Just give it a little bit more space and give it more room to breathe. Yeah, I guess it's pretty nice in terms of the typography. And then let's add some more details. For the content, we'd like the top left and bottom left corner to be cut off as a rounded corner. Yeah, this part we will do something different. If we like border radius, maybe ram. Can you see that? Yeah, it's like 2 rams. Yeah, we can see that, but it's a little bit more. And it's actually, if we look close, it's actually have a cut here, which is not too fancy. We need to fix that as well. So actually you can specify which corner do you want to add the round corner. So it starts from the top left, and then top left, then top right, sorry, bottom right, bottom left. And we will make that, the first one is this one, so it's 1, and then the next one is 0, and that next one is 0, and then next one is 1. It only has 1 and 2 corner, and here is just a square, which is cool, and that's what we want. And for the aside, we will do the similar thing, but let's try that. It's border radius, it's 0, 1, 1, 0, right? No, it's wrong. The reason behind that is we are rotating the whole section another way around, so we need to fix that. It's 1001, right? Yes. So now it looks pretty nice. The only thing left, I would say, is the cutout. The cutout here, cutout here. Yeah, let's try to figure it out. Okay, let's now fix the last thing, which is the cutout. I guess one thing we can do is using the pseudo element of the site. Like as we mentioned earlier, we have a before and after pseudo element, which is essentially a span. We can use these two elements and put it here, and then make it like a round cornered cycle or something, and then cover that part to make it looks like a cutoff. So the thing we do that is we put aside before, and we content is empty, display to be a block, and let's give it some size, and then we can see it clearly. Maybe give it a background color to be, I don't know, something like a orange red. We can see it clearly somewhere. Yes. And to make it, we want to control the position itself, so let's make the parent of the element to be position relative, and then make this one the position to be absolute. And now you can see it's like out of the floor, it's pop up. It has a different layer to rendering. And if we put the top one RAM, let's see where it goes. Okay, it's over there, which is fine. It's top, maybe give it top. So by default the top is 0, I think. Okay, it's not. So now it's there, right? 0, and we want it to be border radius to be 50%. It's a cycle now. So now if we give the background color as the same as the background color of the page, it will show as a cutoff. Let's say VSCode, and you can see it is a cutoff. And if we enlarge the size a little bit, and you can see it clearly. So we want to move the cycle a little bit to be more realistic. Maybe let's say one RAM left, sorry, -1 left. And for the top, maybe 1 RAM. Is that, I think it's -1 as well. Yes, look at that, we have that cutoff now. So if I turn the screen or the ticket color a little bit, let's see the content color, this one. Let me change this a little bit to be white. It'd be more clear. You can see it, the cutoff like that. That's pretty cool, right? And we can do the same thing for the after element. The only difference is we will put it in the bottom, I think. Bottom. Yep, it will cut off on the other side. That looks pretty cool, right? It has a cutoff here, and yeah, it's pretty close to the design. And if we like, we can rotate the whole section a little bit, like the ticket. Let's transform it and rotate a little bit, like a -10 degree. Yeah, it's just pretty much like that one. Yeah, that's pretty much of it. I think it's, yeah, we are pretty close to the design, although there are some small details we're missing, but yeah, it's pretty close. I hope you enjoyed the whole tutorial, and if you want to learn something new or something other than this ticket, please comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.